In 1971, a small American engineer named Jim Bede convinced more than 50,000 people to send him money for an aircraft that did not exist yet. He promised them a personal jet capable of 200 knots, small enough to fit in a garage, cheap enough for a middle-class hobbyist, and fast enough to outrun most military trainers. It was the most successful aircraft pre-order campaign in aviation history. It was also, by almost every measurable standard, one of the most catastrophic product failures the industry has ever produced. The BD-5 did not just fail to deliver on its promises, it killed the people who believed in them most. Jim Bede was not a fraud in the conventional sense. He was a genuinely talented designer who had already produced the BD-1, which became the American Aviation AA-1 Yankee, a certified production aircraft with real commercial success. When he unveiled the BD-5 concept in 1971, the specifications were extraordinary for a home-built kit aircraft. It was a single-seat design with a wingspan of just 14 feet 3 inches in the standard configuration, a fuselage length of 13 feet, and a projected empty weight below 400 pounds. The BD-5B offered a slightly larger wing for improved low-speed handling. The BD-5J variant would take a small turbojet engine, originally the micro-turbo TRS-18, and push cruise speeds past 300 knots. For context, a Cessna 172 of the same era cruised at 122 knots. Bede was not offering an incremental improvement. He was offering a generational leap, delivered to your door in a crate, for a kit price originally advertised at approximately $1,800. Popular Mechanics ran a cover story. Sport Aviation covered it extensively. The orders arrived faster than Bede's company, Bede Aircraft Corporation, could process them. Deposits ranged from $200 to over $1,000, depending on the variant and completion level. By the mid-1970s, the company had collected an estimated $6 million in customer deposits. The engineering problem that destroyed the BD-5 was not the airframe. The composite and aluminum structure was legitimately innovative, and the aerodynamics of the design were sound in principle. The fatal vulnerability was the engine. Bede had designed the BD-5 around a purpose-built two-stroke engine that did not yet exist in production form, a 55-horsepower unit from Hertz, a German manufacturer. The projected power-to-weight ratio of that engine was central to every performance claim Bede had published. When the Hertz engine proved unable to meet the reliability and output specifications in real-world testing, Bede began substituting alternative power plants, Honda motorcycle engines, modified snowmobile engines, and a succession of industrial small displacement units, none of which had been designed for sustained high-power aviation use, and none of which were certified. Each substitution reset the development timeline. Each reset consumed more of the deposit money. Each delay produced another newsletter to kit buyers explaining why delivery was 6 months away. This cycle continued for years. Kit components began shipping in partial batches from 1973 onward, but critically, without engines. Buyers received airframe parts, canopies, and hardware with the engine listed as forthcoming. Some builders completed structural assembly and waited. Others began adapting whatever power plant they could source independently. The aircraft they were building had been designed around an engine that did not exist, and the alternatives they were installing were untested in the airframe's specific aerodynamic and thermal environment. The BD-5's handling characteristics compounded the mechanical problems in a specific and lethal way. The aircraft was genuinely difficult to fly. Its tiny wingspan produced a roll rate that surprised pilots accustomed to conventional light aircraft, and its pitch sensitivity was extreme relative to anything in the amateur-built category at the time. The longitudinal stability margins were narrow, in some configurations disturbingly so. Stall behavior was abrupt, with minimal warning, and spin recovery characteristics in early builds were not definitively established before builders were flying their completed aircraft. None of this would have been disqualifying in isolation. Experimental home-built aircraft carry inherent risk, and the FAA's amateur-built certification framework explicitly places responsibility for airworthiness on the builder. But the BD-5's buyers were not, as a population, highly experienced aviators. They were enthusiasts who had been marketed an aircraft specifically on the premise that it was accessible, a personal jet for the everyman. The combination of a demanding flight envelope, unproven power plants, partially completed kit builds, and a buyer demographic that skewed toward lower total flight hours produced a fatal accident rate that became impossible to ignore. By the late 1970s, NTSB reports on BD-5 accidents were accumulating. Engine failures on takeoff, the most dangerous failure mode in any single-engine aircraft, were disproportionately represented. The small engine installations, often with improvised mounting and cooling arrangements, failed at rates that no certified power plant would have tolerated. Engine failure at low altitude in an aircraft with no glide ratio margin and abrupt stall characteristics left pilots with no recovery options. Bede Aircraft Corporation filed for bankruptcy in 1979. At the time of collapse, the company had delivered kit components to thousands of builders, but fewer than 200 BD-5s of any variant are believed to have ever flown. Against 50,000 orders, that figure represents a completion rate of less than 0.5%. The deposit money was gone. The engine problem had never been solved. The buyers who had waited 8 years received nothing further. The BD-5J jet variant survived the bankruptcy in a small number of completed examples, and its aerobatic performance made it briefly famous as the aircraft used in the 1983 James Bond film Octopussy. A red and white example flew through a hangar at low level and became the most widely seen image the BD-5 ever produced. The gap between that footage and the reality of 50,000 unfulfilled orders is a precise measurement of how completely the project had failed. In 1977, a Kansas builder who had waited 4 years for his engine finally installed a modified Honda unit and flew his BD-5 for the first time. 11 hours of total flight time later, the engine quit on final approach. The aircraft stalled, attempting to stretch the glide, impacted short of the runway, and was destroyed. The builder survived with serious injuries. The NTSB report noted that the engine installation had not been completed per any approved specification, because no approved specification existed. The aircraft had been built in good faith, from legitimate kit components, around an engine that the manufacturer had never delivered. The builder had done everything Bede had told him to do. It nearly killed him anyway. The BD-5 was not brought down by one failure. It was brought down by a structural dependency, a world-class airframe design that had no viable power plant, marketed at mass scale to buyers who had neither the engineering background to recognize the dependency nor the regulatory protection to compel a resolution. Bede had solved the wrong problem first. The aerodynamics were real. The performance numbers for a functioning engine were achievable. But an aircraft without a reliable engine is not an aircraft. It is a fuselage waiting for an accident. So why did the BD-5 promise everyone a personal jet and become one of aviation's biggest failures? Because the promise was built on a component that never existed. The BD-5 was genuinely innovative in every dimension Bede could control: structure, aerodynamics, concept. The engine was the one dimension he could not control, and he sold 50,000 units before that problem was resolved. It was never resolved. The deposits funded development, but development was never completed, and the buyers who built anyway flew an aircraft in an experimental configuration its designer had never actually validated. In aviation, the gap between a brilliant concept and a safe aircraft is measured in engineering hours, test flights, and honest accounting of what is not finished yet. Bede skipped that accounting. The people who trusted him paid for it. The BD-5 remains the most ordered, least flown aircraft in the history of general aviation. That is not a record anyone was trying to set. If you want to go deeper on home-built certification standards, the economics of kit aircraft development, or the handful of BD-5Js still flying today, subscribe. New video every week.